Are you struggling to paint shadow for opaque object in watercolor? Shadow are not just dark areas. They add depth, drama, and realism in your artwork. They're one of the most fun and magical elements to play with in your artwork. In this video, I will show you the secret to mastering bold and natural looking shadow in watercolor. Okay, so let's first understand what is opaque object shadow is. So in a very plain language, it is an object that does not allow to light to pass through it, and therefore you get a shadow in one another object. So for example, you have, this is the wall and the source of light is coming from here, and you have another wall here. So obviously when the light is actually falling here, so since it is an opaque wall, it's a thick wall, it doesn't allow to light pass through it. Light falls here and the shadows creates here, which actually falls here. The shadow actually falls here in another object. So this exactly we are going to bring in our real-time scenario. So I'm going to create a very simple sketch, and I will show you how basically this opaque shadow basically works. So let's take an example we have here. Now imagine that you have the light. The light is coming from this side. Okay, so light is coming from this side. So you have a lot of depth, because since this is the house, this is the building, concrete building. So there is no way that the light will pass through, right? Light comes here and it holds that this building is actually holding the light, and actually it's create that this shadow here, right? So in this way you'll have one shadow here, and this building shadow will also go something like this. This shadow will fall here in this building. It also depends on where your source of light is. I'm just assuming in this example is the sun. The primary source of the light here is the sun, right? So this sun is somewhere here in this one, right? Maybe it's probably 11 a.m., right? So if it is 12 or 1 p.m. and all that, so it will go here, and then the source of light is basically coming from here. So this is basically, I will create another video how to determine all of that, but let's stick with this concept at this moment. So we have this, and now let's quickly paint the very first layer. Okay, so I'm not going to take much time, but I hope you will get some understanding, because I'm painting this. I'm just bringing this concept because a lot of people, they have just told me that they are struggling with creating shadow in watercolor, and that's make me to come with this video. Okay, maybe let's make it a little reddish look and feel. So that will be very contrast. Like this. Okay, and now the other side, the color I'm using is burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. I'm just mixing them together and making a little darker pigment here. The reason I'm just making this a darker pigment because this side, actually, since this is the ceiling of this wall, the light is actually coming here, it's falling here. So this upper side will be a little darker, but the bottom part will be more like a lighter, because it's a direct sunlight holes here, right? So I'm using this yellow ochre, and now since I'm just getting down here, so basically at this moment we will not have a lot more light in this one, because the light has been that's basically it creates this shades here, the shadow. Okay, here now the same thing here, it also goes. Now see, like this part, so this side will be even more darker, right? Because the source of the light, there is a barely any lights available there. Okay, so this side will be pretty much darker, right? When I say right, I mean a lot of people are saying, okay, yes, right, yes, right. That's my pattern. I'm so sorry if it is bothering you. A lot of people are giving me comments on this. Right, yes, right. Yeah, I'm working out that. Thing is, like, you should have some way to enjoy this. I mean, the way you are speaking, where the way you are communicating, and your ideas, that also makes a lot of difference. It's all about how you are enjoying your work, what you do, right? So that's also uh, makes a lot of difference. When I paint, I I just do some. I might be speak something which might by pronunciation might be completely different. So I truly apologize if that happens, and it will happen, most of the time. uh, so okay, so here we have this. I just want to keep it very simple. So here we have this tuk tuk, right? It's in green color, so I've just put it there, and that's the. I'm just keeping it very simple for you, and very loose as well. I told you, I mean, last video, if you have not seen that, look at that. I mean, just visit and see what basically you need when you want to create a loose sort of work. Okay, so this is it. We have our first layer ready. You have seen that these human, the reason I have not painted it, so we'll work in a second layer. So for now, I've just kept it here. So even the sky and all, it's a completely white. I don't want to do anything there. So I just kept it as it is. But this is how it is. Your light will fall in a second layer, and I'm just letting it dry, and then we'll go for our second layer. So even before we go to second layer, I would request you to support me to create more videos like this. Without your support, I would really not be able to create something like this. Your support is so important for me. So please visit my Patreon's membership, and support me there, and definitely you'll have a lot of rewards by supporting my art. And it's not just about creating an art for you, but also there's a lot more tire benefits for you in your way when you become a member, or when you support me on this. So let it dry, and we'll come up we'll go for the second layer. All right, so now you see this is dried, and this is the time when we can go for our second layer. And this time, I mean, at this moment, this will define how basically our shadow and the light and depth, basically it will work. right? So at this side, since there is a no visibility of light, very rare, uh, this side will be a very dark, and I'm just mixing this burnt sienna and uh, ultramarine blue to bring that up here, all that shades. So I'm just making this very dark pigment and leaving somewhere some source of light, but not much. Here, a lot of depth here. We need a lot of depth because I said, I mean, the light is absolutely not there. There is a no light at all, right? So for that, I'm just using this depth, the dark pigment, and I just want to keep this in a very loose. Okay, so this side is basically there's no light. Okay, but you'll have a light here. Light is coming from this side. We already spoken about it, right? So now we will take this yellow burnt sienna, mixing a little bit of depth, mopping extra color, and just we will do one light, well, actually shadow, one fall here. So here we go, one go itself. Okay. Here we just need to make a little more depth. We'll add that later. Maybe some work here and there. So some depth will come here. We'll work on later on that part. But for now since the light is actually, the shadow is coming here, this side will be a little darker, but when you're coming down, this will become a little lighter. I mean, the tone of the magnitude of the depthness will reduce. So we'll make a little darker here, this side. Okay. We have this some architecture pigments, so we'll work on that later, don't worry. So this will be a little more depth here. Okay, so I will just change my brush, and I'll take a little lighter brush, and let me just take this color and almost like a dry sort of brush technique, where I will add a little detail to this building. We'll do some justification with the architecture. So I'm assuming that it's a beautiful arc and has a beautiful architecture values. So we just need to bring that up here. So we have here some so those things, we will just bring it here. Okay, and might be this will also fall some shades here in this one. And now come to this side. Now upper part, I told you earlier, this will be a little darker because the light is very less upper part of this ceiling. So this side will be a little depth. I hope you're getting me what I'm just trying to say here. And if you're not getting it, then let me know in your comment. That's a great way you can connect with me. And let me know, I mean, in the comment, basically, how basically you approach working on this watercolor shadow. What are the problems you are getting? How you deal with that? It will be really, really good for me also to understand, basically, as a how basically what are the problem you face. So I'll try to make a video if it is required. Right now, this side we have. Now I'm just working on these a very quick this autos, tuk-tuk, whatever you call it. And we have another auto here. Giving a little shade to it. Okay. And that's the beauty of working on the looseness. So this actually allows you to do whatever the way you wanted to bring that your subject, right? So it's a fun way to paint, almost like an impressionism style, where you are just giving a direction, right? So now I'm just painting few people here, the crowd. So these people are just walking on the street. Some people in front, some people are far in distance. You might not be able to recognize at this moment, which is kind of a interesting thing, because when you paint human figures, especially when I paint, I also don't know how it will come. So all I do is just giving some direction, some depth and the light and all that. Okay, so we'll work on later once that's. I want to focus now the shadow part. Okay, so now this side we have this side. The light is actually falling in this building. The light, the shadow is actually falling here in this. So what basically we need to do here is we just need to bring that. Okay, so basically the building of this is like this. It's falling here, and then we have another building which is next to this, so that the shades are actually falling here, but the shades will not be so prominent. It will be a little lighter. It shouldn't be too hard. You understand what I mean, right? Not too hard. But when you are going down, oops, I need to take that same color to bring that harmony. So there's a lot of elements here, so we need to keep that in our mind. Completely loose. Um, and the important part here is when you paint loose, this also brings you an ability to uh, think in a very radical way. Okay, what I mean a radical way is that you really don't care about, okay, rationally, logically, how 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 what is the rational you actually brought in here, because not every time you need to bring that complete ration in your artwork. It's your impression, your expression of representing things, and art is about to uh, it's about bringing clarity to you first before your audience. Okay, so that's also be a very important thing to remember. Okay, so now you have just seen this how light is actually coming here in this way. Now this also gives you a way that there is a light coming from this side as well. I mean, these seeds falling from here. It's more like a depth, more depth here. Go kind of a craziness, a craziest strokes you can ever work with. That's the uh, way of working with loose and working with a very loose sort of shades. And these are the very important elements in your artwork. These can make or break your artwork. Okay, initially a lot of time it will break. So don't break your heart. So all you have to do is a practice, 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 practice. So you'll see like things are coming your way after after a certain point of time. All right, so now you've seen that how basically these seeds are actually coming in here. Let's say if you have something here in this, you can also bring that seeds. You can refer uh, any subject as well. I'm just giving you from my imagination how you can just do it. And good part here, when you work from imagination and rather observing your surrounding, that's very important. It really helped me. I mean, when I was observing a lot how basically the light and shades are basically working. So these things are basically really helped me a lot. Observing your surrounding, looking at uh, how basically the shadow works in a real life, right? So those things you must have to look at, you must have to see. Some depth here inside. Right, like this. And let's just bring some closer to this painting almost. We just need to give a little work on the human figure. Some light here and there, and we are almost done. Right, so just make the pathway just a little more work, and we are almost done. And now you got it right, how this basically these light and the shades are basically working, right? So these are small work is really important, because that's basically brings the real flavor of your work. It completes your artwork. Now the shades will come to the I will come to this. Let me just finalize, conclude this with working on these human figures a little. So you also got to know like how human figures has been evolved, right? So this is why it is very impression. Nothing so obvious, but it exists. It exists today, and that's why the watercolor is so effective working on if you're working on the expression or mostly in impressionism sort of work. So that's a really powerful way to express your artwork. So almost done, and yes, this is it, my dear friends. So this is the artwork, and this is what exactly I was just trying to say. This is how the shades come. What you have to be very cautious about, there is no cautious. What I mean is, you need to be a little confident. You need to show your confidence. Everybody is aware that how shades actually, develops. That's an opaque object, and actually the light is not passing through, and these creates some shadows here. It creates the shadow. It creates shadow in the in the other part of the building, right? And then you are also creating a atmospheric kind of a storytelling experience. This is all you need, right? I hope you enjoy this. I want you to support me to create more videos like this. I will bring a lot of tutorial like this for you to learn and grow with a watercolor. It will happen only when you support me on Patreon. So visit my Patreon membership. It's a way cheaper. You can't even imagine to support an artist. So thank you so much, everyone, and I'll be coming with a new video very soon. Till then, practice this and comment what you learned and what you want to learn, so it will be easy for me to come with a new video very soon. So thank you so much.